We purchased this house last month.
We knew after our experience with a very large multinational bank that we wanted to have a very local bank. First Federal was the first bank that we called. From the very first phone call, just been absolutely wonderful. We had such a pleasant experience with this bank that we ended up making it not only the bank that gave us the loan on this house, this is our personal bank now. We felt like family. I would absolutely recommend First Federal Lakewood.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Muhammad from three. That one is good. Ahmed Muhammad with no hesitation. Well, it's cut off by Canones. As Karan underneath. And one. Hakeem for three. Slashes. Hollenberg for three. All three of those. Andre Hollenberg is head. I'm sure he will have some words for the defense at halftime. Q Neal, the step back.
Jaquan Neal, aka Q.
His head. I'm sure he will have some words for the defense at halftime. Q Neal, the step back.
And you watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
I'm Riley Eulens.
Tipped. It will go to Eulens. Eulens underneath. The driving layup is good, and the Lakewood Rangers are getting everything they want.
And you're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
My name is Hakeem Grani.
Eulens cut off by Canones. As Karan underneath. And one. Hakeem for three.
You're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
My name's Andre Hollenberg.
Hollenberg for three. All three of those. Andre Hollenberg.
You're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
It's Ahmed Muhammad.
Muhammad from three. That one is good. Ahmed Muhammad with no hesitation.
And you're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
Well, good evening, basketball fans, and two of the best words in basketball is tournament time, and it is tournament time once again at Lakewood High School. Grant Graves, Patrick Hayes with you once again, but with a little different feel to this one, as it is win or go home, in this case go to the consolation bracket. But certainly a first for Lakewood playing in a conference tournament in the GLC. It's been a season of firsts, and certainly Lakewood has a great opportunity to make some noise in an otherwise very disjointed season. Lakewood certainly has a chance to put its stamp in the history books in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting to get back on the court after a tough one on Saturday. Look to rebound. We get Aiden Wacker back tonight, which could be huge. Still no Hakeem the Dream, but it's good to get one guy back.
It'll certainly be a good matchup here tonight as the Panthers and Rangers battled to an overtime game out at the Coliseum in Elyria. Lakewood led by 10 with 1:49 remaining. Elyria Catholic stormed all the way back, and we have all that history between these two teams going at it tonight. But both squads are going to look a little different. No Aiden Wacker just yet for the Rangers. They're hoping that, Aiden Wacker is back tonight.
Yes.
And he hasn't played in a while, so Lakewood will be adjusting to Aiden Wacker being in the lineup tonight. But many, many omissions from the Elyria Catholic lineup from the first time these two teams played. No Jack Keneally, no Colin Keneally, no Robert Palmer Jr., no Jared Franz. It will be a very different-looking Elyria Catholic Panther squad. And thank you to Coach Higgs as we got some JV players coming up to the varsity squad for tournament time. It's always good to see. But like we were saying, Pat, with Elyria Catholic, it's going to be a very different look for them. But certainly tournament time is a story of Cinderellas. It's a story of upsets. Never know what's going to be in the cards once the tournament kicks off.
Yeah, guys are going to have to step up. Guys that aren't used to carrying the load are going to have to carry the load tonight. And sometimes that's good for young players. Give them an opportunity and they may excel.
It'll be Denny Fisher doing most of the heavy lifting for Elyria Catholic as they do not even have a JV squad to pull from. JV squads not playing here tonight due to COVID protocols. So it'll be some pressure coming up for Elyria Catholic to fill the void. Certainly will look a little bit different. And if you're on the Lakewood side, certainly coming off your toughest loss of the year, it was quite a disappointing game against the team that is now number 2 in the state poll for Division I, the Menor Cardinals. Lakewood just looking really to get back to their winning ways after a tough matchup on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's one you want to kind of forget about, leave behind you, move past, and what a better thing to move past with a tournament game. As
we talk about the matchup that Lakewood had on Saturday, we move to our Slife matchup of the game, and we are looking here at a Slife matchup of the game that we haven't had this season, but it'll be on head coach Rob Palmer of the Elyria Catholic Panthers to get this undermanned squad moving in the right direction and hopefully, putting in an effort that could get them in the victory category is certainly a hope of the Elyria Catholic Panthers. And on the other side, it's head coach Alex Kamak. A lot of changes need to be made for the Rangers. Losing a tough one to Valley Forge, losing the next night to Menor in blowout fashion. It'll be on Coach Kamak and Coach Palmer to get the best out of their squads tonight to see a good one in the opening round of the GLC tournament.
Yeah, it's a perfect thing for this season to have the matchup of game 2 coaches dealing with such crazy season. COVID, EC's hit really hard with it. Rangers have been hit with that and injuries. So, they both kind of see how they can balance it out and who comes up on top tonight.
Well, it's our Geiger's question of the night, and it's not just about coming out on top tonight. We want to see our Lakewood boys in purple and gold take it all the way down to the end of this tournament rope. And my question for you, Pat, presented by Geiger's here in Lakewood, is how does Lakewood go from number 8 seed in this tournament with just 8 games played at the time of seeding to the winner of the GLC tournament? What are they going to have to do? Lucky breaks. What's going to be the formula for Lakewood?
They're going to have to defend first and foremost. And then, they're going to have to hit some shots. Aiden Wacker, getting him back is huge. He was really hot early in the year, hitting some shots, and they need to do a better job defensively.
As we want to shout out First Federal of Lakewood for bringing you the Lakewood Sports Channel here at tournament time. First Federal of Lakewood is rooted in the communities they serve and has supported the personal and business banking needs of its customers since 1935. Visit ffl.net to learn more. As we are almost set for tip-off here from the inaugural GLC Tournament. Both teams are back in the huddle, getting ready for this one. And Pat, as we get near tip-off, quickly give me a key for each team as we almost tip off here at Lakewood High School.
For EC, it's who's going to step up. You know, with all those guys out, who's going to step up for them? For the Rangers is rebound the basketball and speed up EC. They had a little trouble with some pressure against the Westlake Demons on Saturday. So if Rangers can speed them up, cause some turnovers, could have some success.
Those are our $2, 2 keys to the game. And now we head down to the public address announcer for the national anthem and starting lineups. It's the GLC first round here on the Lakewood Sports Channel and on GLC TV.
Testing 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, as a member school of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Lakewood High School welcomes you to this interscholastic contest between Elyria Catholic High School and Lakewood High School. To honor America, please stand and join in the playing of our national anthem.
And with that, we are close to tournament time here at Lakewood High School. The starting lineups for the Elyria Catholic Panthers and for your Lakewood Rangers.
Is appreciated by member schools competing for the chance to win the first inaugural tournament title. They are expected to exhibit the qualities of good sportsmanship throughout the contest, and the administration of both request the same from all fans. The official signs of this tournament game have met extensive requirements by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and have been assigned based upon the process approved by the OHSAA's Board of Directors. The officials for this game are Tyrone Wingham, Chris Jarris, and Mike Brody. The athletes and coaches and officials are guests of Lakewood High School. All fans are asked to respect the effort each of them has put forth preparing for tonight's contest. We ask all attending to show courtesy and respect for fellow fans, officials, coaches.
As we get our starting lineups here introduced by the Lakewood Public Address announcer, we want to give a big thank you to all of our families and friends out there in the Lakewood community supporting the Lakewood Sports Channel. Bringing our families and fans all the action takes a lot of help from our community. The Lakewood Sports Channel would not be possible without the contributions from our supporters. Thanks to donations through the Athletic Boosters, we can keep bringing you the show and help keep it going into the future. Go to golakewood.org if you'd like to make a donation to the channel. It's been a fun season, Pat. It's GLC tournament time, OHSAA tournament time. Man, we have been so blessed with the help and support of those in the community. It's really been such a team effort, and we can't be happier with how things have gone this year.
Absolutely, Grant.
Alex Carenday, a junior 5'11" guard.
Man, it's interesting to see the starting lineups. I mean, pretty much everyone that EC has over there is starting for him.
Certainly a short bench for EC tonight. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Rob Palmer will do to counteract the lack of bodies for the Panthers. And now we turn our attention to the men in purple and gold for the starting lineups for the Lakewood Rangers.
Yeah, you got to think the Rangers are going to want to try to get out and run, really, tire out the EC Panthers.
What a fantastic crowd tonight. We got Principal Mark Walters here. We got track coach Mike Dow, Mike Rebar, head baseball coach, Tim Reinhardt, Dr. G, Mike Harper. This is a star-studded event here, Pat.
For having, limited capacity, it's a great crowd for sure.
Lakewood going with a similar starting lineup to the one they had against Menor the other night, looking to turn the tide. Elyria Catholic looking to play upset here as the 8th seed and the 9th seed get ready to tip it off here at the corner of Bunts and Franklin. Big shout out to our cheerleading squad for their support this year and doing such a nice job on the cheerleading side. And we'll be giving a big shout out to our 2 seniors for the varsity and for the JV squads who are here tonight. Pat Soros going to the middle circle with Lisner to tip it off. Lakewood in their white uniforms, purple and gold trim. Elyria Catholic out there in their green uniforms with gray and black trim. It's tournament time. February Frenzy tipping off on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Ball is tipped and we are off as Riley Ullens will take it and Lakewood will control it. Little bit of motion there, gets Patsoris on the right block. Patsoris layup no good. Grayer was there for the putback and Lakewood on the board early, 2-0. Little bit of pressure being shown by the Rangers early here. Limited substitutions for the Panthers. Coach Kamock trying to speed up this inexperienced Panther squad. As that one is knocked off of Nieders, but they're going to say it was Ullens who tipped it last.
EC's also missing a lot of their guard. So,
not only the size in France and Keneally, but you forget about the backcourt as well sometimes.
Yeah, so, no Palmer, missing a couple ball handlers. So, pressuring them, only limiting who can handle the rock could be huge.
There's Grayer getting in the passing lane. Oh, by himself, he can fly. MJ Grayer. I believe I can fly. Marcel Grayer on the layup makes it 4-0 Rangers. Trap there in the corner. Ullens got his hands on it, finds Grayer. That one is tipped. Grayer found Patsoris underneath, who leaped, grabbed it, didn't get it to go, but the Panthers do a nice job denying Patsoris at the rim. We're out to a hot start here at the GLC Tournament. Take inside by number 15, Alex Carendang, and Lakewood will push it the other way.
Yeah, I like the pace here for the Rangers, getting it and going. We couldn't get a bucket to fall in the last possession, but I really like the speed of the game.
Lakewood again getting Patsoris on the block. Again, the Panthers have no answer for the big man when he gets to that right block.
It's funny because we've talked about other games where it's like, hey, maybe the Rangers should slow it down. But tonight, a little bit different, want to get it and go.
Denny Fisher from way downtown. That shot no good, but it'll have to be a lot of Fisher from deep, and that will be the main source of the Panthers' offense. Interesting a little bit for the Rangers, not known for running set plays, but twice they've run action to get Patsoris open on that right block as Muhammad pulls up from 3. That one took a trip around the rim but didn't want to go down.
Yeah, it's good to see him get some action, get Pete going. He didn't have the best game against Menor, so getting him going early is really big.
Two half-court possessions, 2 plays drawn up for Patsoris. You're hoping that number 1 will be number 1 at the end of this tournament. That will spell a good thing for the Lakewood Rangers. It's Nieders working on Muhammad. Fisher deep again against Neal. Neal getting another start, and that one is tipped away. Patsoris with Fisher. Fisher, some token defense there, but an 8-0 run for the Rangers has been catalyzed by their ability to get out in the fast break. What a job by the Rangers to pressure the Panthers. And Panthers being a little shorthanded, you got to imagine that was part of the Lakewood game plan from the get-go, but certainly working to a T.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of deflections and turning them into points, which is huge. Rangers did the opposite of this against Valley Forge. They spotted Valley Forge an 11-point lead and crawled back. So they need to keep the foot on the pedal and continue to, speed them up.
And when GLC, when the bracket came out, you see Lakewood at the 8th seed, and you say, they've beaten some teams, they've lost to some teams, and kind of an up-and-down season. When have guys been available? When hasn't? Same thing for every team.
Yep.
Nobody's different in that respect. Certainly you see it for EC right now. No JV team available, so their bench looks a little bit different. Regardless, when Lakewood gets the 8th seed, you say to yourself, that they got to play Bay next round. That's going to be tough. But here you're sitting against the Panthers, a team that you've beaten once, who's shorthanded tonight. If you're Lakewood, you just lost to the 10th seed Valley Forge a few nights ago. You may be pretty thankful that 8th seed isn't a 7 seed or whatever it may have been.
Yeah, and it's fortunate for that. And we've got a long way to go in this one, but boy, am I excited to see the Rangers play the Rockets on Friday if we can get past this one.
Nice steal again by the Rangers, but rejected by Thomas Niederst. And here comes Elyria Catholic the other way, looking for a spark. Niederst pulls. That one in and out. And Grayer pulled down the rebound. What a block by Niederst on that end. Certainly a spark Elyria Catholic will be welcoming.
Definitely. Yeah, he's got to play big if, EC has a good chance of winning this one.
Nice shot fake there by Q Neal. It got cut off in the paint there, and it was blocked by number 24, Miles Lisner. Another three outside for Elyria, doesn't go. And that was Colin Ginley pulling that one. Lakewood, fortunate some of these threes haven't dropped, but they've done a nice job establishing the tempo they want for this game.
Yeah, for one game this year, the Rangers could be at not a size advantage. I mean, they're about the same height. EC's got some big guys, but Pete Patzoris, the big rebounder, and they could win the rebounding battle tonight.
EC working in a little bit of a 3-2 zone, making Lakewood work for it, taking some time off the clock. Only 2 subs available on the Panther bench. Patzoris turns over his right shoulder, and that one-handed push shot is good as Lakewood takes a 10-0 lead here in the first round of the GLC tournament.
Kind of falling back, not pressuring the ball as much right now. We've got a little bit of a lead. Don't want to take it off too much, pressure the ball in the half court.
Lakewood's certainly done a good job getting in the passing lane in the half court, something we definitely did not see against the Mentor Cardinals.
No.
Lisner, nice take. Lisner, a nice take to the rim, and he is fouled as Lakewood will send Elyria Catholic to the line looking for their first points of the contest.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, don't want to look ahead at all, but, if we do get to see that Ranger versus Rocket matchup on Friday, man, is that going to be a good one with Pete Patzoris and Ashton Price. And those two of the top players in the conference. It'd really be fun to see.
Certainly, we know Bay is probably watching this one at home, and it will be an explosive matchup. Two teams that haven't played each other this year. Lakewood was supposed to go to Bay as the Panthers, Lisner misses both free throws. Aiden Wacker back in the game. Hasn't missed a beat. Welcome back, Wacker.
Takes 3 weeks off and still can't miss. Awesome to see.
Aiden Wacker, what a fun story there as his first three-pointer from the corner goes, and Lakewood extends their lead to 13. Fisher from way downtown, that one off the bottom of the backboard, and here's Wacker pushing it the other way. Welcome back to this senior who has been sorely missed by the Lakewood Rangers, and back in the lineup hitting his first shot. Really nice to see for Aiden Wacker.
Yeah, he loves those corners. He picked up where he left off. I'd love to see him get a couple more.
Eulens rocketed it inside. Looked like Grayer had a chance, but Elyria Catholic walled off nicely. Lakewood moving it around, trying to find the cracks in this Elyria Catholic zone. 13-0 the Rangers lead as Eulens pass too high for the all-conference wide receiver. Usually pulls that one down, just needs a pylon behind him.
Uncatchable ball.
And Lakewood going back into some full court pressure, 1-2-2 for the purple and gold. But like we were saying, that game against Bay was supposed to be played as Eulens turns over the Panthers again, and this one will stay with Lakewood. Was supposed to be played, canceled, like many other games this year around the area due to COVID protocols. So two teams don't have a history this year. Now, they have some non-conference history in the past, but have not faced off as GLC opponents. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's one of the most familiar teams in the GLC for the Rangers. We've had a lot of non-conference battles with them previously, so have a little bit of familiarity with them. But, yeah, I'm excited to see us play on Friday if we can get past this one.
Teddy Budinger checking into the game for the Panthers. Take there, but Eulens was fouled.
Foul called on
Teddy Buttinger playing in the freshman game, but here he is pressed into varsity action due to no JV team for Elyria Catholic. It's also why we're bringing you the game at 6 o'clock. So as you're getting dinner ready, I hope the Lakewood Sports Channel is on in the background. That one off the back iron, hit off a couple of Rangers. The volleyball spike by Grayer will send that one out of bounds.
Got a little bit of nerves as a freshman playing in a varsity game, but this will pay off in the long run for him, for sure.
Lakewood looking to trap Elyria here and force another mistake by the men in green and gray. That one off the hands of Fisher, and Lakewood will regain possession. 2 minutes, 23 seconds remaining. It's 13-0 Lakewood. Certainly a much better effort, different opponent, much better effort for the Rangers here. And defensively showing a little pressure and doing some of those things. It's nice if you're the Lakewood Rangers because that pressure was certainly applied to you Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a tale of two cities here. We're getting pressured and turning the ball over on Saturday. Now we're able to force the turnovers and turn them into points.
Another nice shot pick by Jaquan Neal as he's found some seams in this Panther zone. Eulens steps back. That one is good. Riley Eulens delicately places that one over the front of the rim, and he got it to go. A lone bright spot against Menor. Eulens had 19 big points for the Lakewood Rangers. He played some big minutes against the number 2 team in the state. Nice job by Wacker there not to foul on the take, and Lakewood is in total control with under 2 minutes remaining.
He's, Riley's kind of finding his own in the past few games. It's been nice.
Another nice take by Patsoris, and Lakewood getting to the rim at will here, 17-0. Lakewood certainly doing their best to turn up the pressure here in tournament time, and another turnover is forced, and Lakewood pushes it the other way. Patsoris in and out, spin move. Eulens gives it up, unselfish play to Wacker in the corner. Aiden Wacker. Welcome back. It's Aiden Wacker 2 for 2 from both corners. And certainly a welcome home present for the Rangers is Aiden Wacker knocking down a few triples. There's Wacker going all the way, the reverse layup. Aiden Wacker.
Man, oh man, he can do it inside, he can do it outside. Welcome back, Aiden Wacker. Wow.
It's like when you take a vacation at work, you got your email. It's 1,000 emails in there. Aiden Wacker went boom, 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 and he's good. He's all caught up and back up to speed with this Rangers.
What movie is that, Bruce Almighty, when the guy, he's just typing on the computer?
Certainly Aiden Almighty out there is Aiden Wacker not missing a beat, extending this Lakewood lead to 22. And frankly, if you're Lakewood, you couldn't ask for anything better from the senior and from this group as a whole. The Menor game, these guys admitted it. We talked to the coaching staff. It was something where the score may have gotten out of control because nothing else but maybe just that belief in themselves.
Yeah.
Lost an overtime game the night before, and it happens. See it in the NBA, you see it in the NCAA, but now it's tournament time.
Yes.
Every possession matters. You can't take a possession off. Like you saw against Valley Forge, some of these other close games Lakewood's had, Buckeye,
Yep.
Brecksville.
Correct.
You take a possession off, you're in the consolation bracket, somewhere nobody wants to be.
No, not
especially with the talent that Lakewood has. You see Wacker back, they look like a brand new team.
And like you said, it seemed like there was just a lack of effort almost on Saturday. Even though you're playing against one of the top teams in the state, you could see the overtime game kind of wearing on them, and it's good to see them bounce back tonight. Aiden Wacker, it's funny because shooting is such a thing of repetition, and he's been out for so long you think it would fall off a little bit, but
Buttinger from 3, that one long off the rim, and Grayer wasn't able to pull it down, and it'll stay with the Panthers. Good to see Buttinger pulling as a freshman newly into this varsity game. And with 34 seconds remaining, Lakewood doing a fantastic job defensively against this undermanned Elyria Catholic squad.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see a little first quarter shutout. Maybe Aiden Wacker was doing the old school shooting some balls in his driveway or something over the quarantine.
Certainly, we know Aiden is so happy to be back. The Lakewood squad is so happy to have him back, and he has certainly been welcome home with the Rangers finding him in some of his favorite spots, under the rim, right and left corner. That's where you can find Aiden Wacker. 10 seconds remaining. Patsoris underneath. Nice block as Lakewood has 5 seconds remaining. Patsoris doesn't see the clock. Patsoris long strides down the court. He puts it up. He puts it in right at the buzzer. And Pete Patsoris for dramatic effect slow played the clock with 10 seconds remaining and was able to take it coast to coast as the buzzer sounded.
And Grant, something that's underrated is the leadership of Aiden Wacker. You know, he's a senior on this team. He doesn't, you know, he's not the most vocal guy, but he works his butt off and works really hard in practice. And having him back doing that kind of things really brings a lift to the team, I think, in that aspect too.
Certainly Lakewood riding high here as a 24-0 first quarter has put the Lakewood Rangers in a driver's seat. As we again want to shout out our Lakewood High School cheerleading. This is the varsity squad now. Our varsity squad is comprised of Gia Franquito, Emma Manzel, Isabel Ray, and Lila Aberzaki.
You know, they've done a nice job too all year, you know, on short notice, coming to games on Saturdays and too. It's, you know, it's not easy to, you know, for the basketball team as well as the cheerleading squad. Looks like the Rangers are getting some guys some rest after a good first quarter. You got Andre Hollenberg in the game now.
Andre Hollenberg checking in for his first action tonight, and he's joined by Wacker, Uhlens, Patsoris, and Grayer, and those four have been great. Grayer has been all over the place, and Patsoris, Uhlens, and certainly Aiden Wacker have done their fair share of scoring in the first 8-minute frame.
Yeah, Riley, like we were talking about, Riley's been really hitting his stride. I mean, although they've been coming in losses, he's been really scoring the basketball the past few games.
Another steal by Grayer as Patsoris soared to the rim, and he was fouled. That ball almost went down. Nice job by Patsoris, and a big take there, but a big fall for the senior.
Foul called on Steve Navalinsky.
Yeah, Andre poured in 6 against Menor of the 51. So it's good to see guys that haven't scored a lot this year contribute, because you're going to need them late in this tournament push.
Another free throw up and in as Patsoris splits the pair, and it's 25-2.
Yeah, Rangers falling back into their man-to-man half-court defense.
And Elyria Catholic and Lakewood are certainly two different squads, as you can kind of see where, you know, coming off the bench, Elyria Catholic, a lot of experience, but similar in the sense that both teams came into the season losing a lot of senior leadership. Elyria Catholic did such a fantastic job getting to the district final last year against Warrensville Heights, and Lakewood getting to the district final against Lorraine. And really, really good historic seasons for both squads, for both schools. Obviously, you're reloading a little bit if you're the Panthers and the Rangers, but certainly have been commended for what they've been able to do as this varsity season has ticked away.
Yeah, and you know, you see it as a different squad. I mean, you get Jack McNeely back next year. Mm-hmm. You know, he just has to set up the second half because of the transfer, but he played really well against the Rangers the first time around.
Led them all the way back from that 10-point deficit as the Rangers force another turnover and pushing the Panthers the other way. Yep. Travel there on Uhlens, and Mark Jarris will check in for Aiden Wacker. What a shift for Wacker. 8 points by the senior.
Yeah, Jack, I mean, he scored it, he rebounded it. I mean, you give a guy that good size. And good to see Miles Harper back in the game for the Rangers.
Miles Harper in as well for the purple and gold. And, man, it was really impressive to see Keneally shooting from deep, like you said. And we're sitting there and saying, hey, you know, Lakewood did a nice job to get themselves to a 10-point lead with 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. And usually when you're there, you're feeling pretty good in that driver's seat. But as we saw, Lakewood giving up that lead, and Keneally was a big reason why, as Niederst missed from the corner.
Possibly a little too good to give that 10-point lead away. And that's one thing you learn as a team later in the year, how to close games out. You know, hitting your free throws, not turning the ball over.
Nice take there with the left hand by Riley Uhlens as he got right down Broadway and laid it up for 2. 27-0 Lakewood leading the Panthers as a three-pointer goes by Joey Busey. And the Panthers are on the board, 27-3. Jarris will pull from deep. That one catches the front iron and drops straight down. as Coach Gammock will make an immediate sub after that one. Didn't seem to be in the offensive game plan as the Panthers come into life as that layup went in and was a nice take by Colin Ginley, number 4.
Yeah, sometimes, you get that confidence with this lead, and you're like, hey, man, everyone else is scoring the basketball. Why not me?
Certainly, if ball movement is contagious, scoring is contagious. So everybody trying to get in on the act for the purple and gold as Grayer and Muhammad will check back in. Patsaurus being shaded by a few Panthers. Harper gets into the paint. His jump pass is to Ullins, whose shot clanks off the side rim. And Patsaurus' shot clanks off the front rim. And here come the Panthers on a 5-0 run.
Yeah, wanna nip this quickly and not let them get too out of hand here.
As a nice jump hook in the middle of the paint by Miles Lisner. And he was able to really do a nice job at posting up the smaller Mark Jarris on that one.
And that's the thing. I mean, Coach Gammock has some subs coming in, some of the guys that, started the game. And it's one of those situations where, you get these guys in the game that may not get a lot of minutes. And you're okay if they're not scoring the basketball necessarily, but they got to do it on the defensive end.
Nice job by Ullins there on the step back, but number 4, Colin Ginley beating everybody down the floor for the Rangers. And certainly if you're the Rangers, that's a warning sign, red light flashing for your defense.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't give up any in the first quarter. They've already given up 9 here.
Ullins heating up here at the corner of Bunts and Franklin, melting some of this snow outside as he is now gone off for 7 straight points.
I'll be honest, I think Coach Gammock may lead the state in attempted timeouts that don't get granted.
Certainly Coach Gammock having to find new and creative ways to get timeouts granted. But he's a creative guy. We know he will. Jarris will pull it from deep. That one clanks off as Harper contested the rebound, but it'll be the Panthers pushing it the other way. Lisner, the nice take, and he will go back to the free throw line.
Looks like it's almost a line change to the Rangers.
Ball on Pete Patsaurus. That'll send Buttinger to the line to shoot 2.
Grayer, Muhammad, Wacker, and Neal set to check in for the Rangers.
Let's see, thinking Riley's the one staying in.
He would certainly be the hot hand as, yes, it will be number 5, Riley Ullins, staying in for the Rangers. Patsaurus, Harper, Jarris, and Hollenberg checking out.
Grant, we've talked about how strange of a season it has been, for everyone in high school basketball. How about college basketball? I mean, it's same thing going on. There's no blue bloods in the top 25.
Certainly been a strange year, and if you are any high school team looking to make a run tournament time, I'm sure you're going to be setting the tone for March Madness because it will be a wild one at the collegiate level. Wacker pulls that one short. Grayer battling underneath, but he will say, I was held, and that request will be granted by the official as Lakewood will inbound the ball underneath. Been a clean game, only 3 fouls on the Panthers, 2 fouls to the Rangers' credit, as there are 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining here in the first half.
I didn't think Wacker could miss.
Certainly an anomaly for Aiden Wacker this year. We got to go back and look at the stats because he's been automatic from deep. It'll be interesting to see where Aiden Wacker finds himself in the record books at the end of this one.
Yeah, I mean, percentage, makes won't be as high because of the games missed, but
sure.
Percentage-wise, he has to be up there. Over 50% would be my guess.
Certainly been hot from deep all year, number 3, Aiden Wacker. Good to have him back on the varsity squad. Coach Palmer sensing some frustration with this undermanned squad, but a nice take underneath. Didn't get it to go, and Miles Lisner was there to go back to the free throw line. Nice take there by Alex Carendang. Just couldn't get that one to go.
And that was a poor defensive breakdown by the Rangers. They just allowed a straight line drive. They got lucky, missed the first layup, but then we fouled them on the offensive rebound.
32-11 here on the Lakewood Sports Channel as the first free throw is up and hits a couple different surfaces, but nothing in the nylon department as Patsaurus will check in and Grayer will sit down. That one's short, and Lakewood will push it the other way. Patsoris working with Jaquan Neal. Neal fires a rocket to the corner, and it's Wacker who is short from distance. And Elyria Catholic is pushing the other way. He might be a victim of the Graves-Hayes jinx.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything. Not say anything more about him.
Nice take there underneath by Nieders, but Lakewood will push it the other way. Muhammad in transition. He lost it. And now it is Fisher who pushes it for the Panthers. Fisher picked up his dribble and found Karen Dang, who will initiate.
Coach Kamock's okay with him pushing it, but you got to jump stop if you don't have anything and then start your offense. No need to dribble into 3 guys.
Certainly it's a weapon to have a big guy like Muhammad push it, but got to have your ideas ready, and Coach Kamock will be the first one to say that. Off the back iron it goes for number 11, Joey Boosie. And Ullens will have a take here. Step back. Thought better of it and found Patsoris. Patsoris ran into a wall. Lakewood moving it around, looking for the open man.
Yeah, good ball movement on this possession. Hopefully we get a good shot here.
Lakewood not settling. It's Muhammad from deep, and that one went across the circumference of the rim but couldn't go down. Nice crossover there. Nieders, nice shot fake. Gets it back out to Boosie. Boosie in the corner, Karen Dang. And that 3 is good. Nice quarter here by Alex Carendang, and he has given the Panthers 14 points now. Much better quarter for the Panthers, certainly starting to find their stride offensively. And you got guys that probably haven't played a ton together this year. You commend the Panthers for what they've been able to do. But, certain sets, certain plays, certain philosophies that you have on the varsity side, it takes time to learn those things. And certainly Panthers doing it at a tough time as Patsoris knocks in a tough 3 to extend Lakewood's lead. Under a minute remaining here in the first half.
There's the Pat Hayes jinx. All I could think about was, we don't need to keep chucking up 3s. Let's get something inside. And then, boom, we knock one down.
Lakewood and Elyria Catholic battling in this first round matchup. Hopefully you are joining us on the Lakewood Sports Channel or GLC TV.
Yeah.
We have multiple platforms now. Things have certainly progressed. And we're so happy the guys at Fairview, FPCSBN, and those guys at GLC TV have done a fantastic job getting this tournament out to the masses. Under 10 seconds remaining. 6 seconds now. Throws it to the corner. Lisner with a jump stop and a move underneath, and the floater, the touch, and in. As the buzzer sounds, the heave is up and no good. And the Rangers will go into the locker room leading 35-16.
Yeah, really good half of basketball for the Rangers. Defensively, I think could have been a lot better in the second half. You'd be okay with only giving up 16 and a half, but all in the second quarter isn't really great.
Certainly, Lakewood jumped out to a big lead. Some pressure defense was able to necessitate that. But if you're Elyria Catholic, you got to be happy with your effort there in the second quarter to get this thing under 20 points. And certainly anything can happen at tournament time. We don't call it February Frenzy for nothing. So it has really been a good opening round start for the Rangers. But as the Rangers know against this Panther squad, it's all about the finish. Our man Colin Cunningham behind the camera. Get a shot of my guy Clayton Senny going across the court there. A certified baller, Clayton Senny. And he is always here after the games, before games. He is a bright smile here. We love seeing Clayton
Class of
on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
2036-ish.
He's certainly got some moves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's faster than you, and there was a vote that happened last night on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
We still got some time.
And if you want to go vote in our poll for what Coach Hayes will be putting on for our February Frenzy here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, we could see Coach Hayes doing wind sprints, shell drill, 3-man weave around the world, whatever you want to see our color commentator, our good sport, Pat Hayes, be participating in here soon. Just go to Lakewood Sports Channel Twitter and give it a like and give it a vote. As the second half will be kicking off here in a moment, we'll have some recognition, I believe, of our Lakewood High School cheerleaders, so stay tuned, and we'll be back with more basketball here on the Lakewood Sports Channel and GLC TV.
We purchased this house last month.
We knew after our experience with a very large multinational bank that we wanted to have a very local bank. First Federal was the first bank that we called. From the very first phone call, just been absolutely wonderful. We had such a pleasant experience with this bank that we ended up making it not only the bank that gave us the loan on this house, this is our personal bank now. We felt like family. I would absolutely recommend First Federal Lakewood.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Muhammad from three. That one is good. Ahmed Muhammad with no hesitation. Well, it's cut off by Canones. As Karan underneath. And one. Hakeem slashes. Hollenberg for three. All three of those. Andre Hollenberg, his head. I'm sure he will have some words for the defense at halftime. Q Neal, the step back.
Jaquan Neal, aka Q.
His head. I'm sure he will have some words for the defense at halftime. Q Neal, the step back.
And you watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
I'm Riley Ewlands.
Tipped. It will go to Eulens. Eulens underneath. The driving layup is good, and the Lakewood Rangers are getting everything they want.
And you're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
My name is Hakeem Grani.
Eulens cut off by Canones. As Karan underneath. And one. Hakeem the three.
You're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
My name's Andre Hollenberg. And
Hollenberg for three. All three of those. Andre Hollenberg.
you're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
It's Ahmed Muhammad.
Muhammad from three. That one is good. Ahmed Muhammad with no hesitation.
And you're watching Lakewood Sports Channel.
We are under 5 minutes away from the first half, from the second half here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. I want to give a big shout out to our seniors, Gia Franquito and Emma Manzel. They've done such a fantastic job leading this varsity cheerleading squad, and we're so glad to have their support and have them at the varsity games feeling a little like normal with the varsity squad here. And a big shout out in their senior season to Gia Franquito and Emma Manzel. Fantastic work out there. And I want to give another big shout out to our friends over at Fairview High School who have been able to really do a nice job of putting on the tournament here. The GLC full court press is in full swing as the GLC boys tournament kicks off and the girls tournament enters the semifinal stage. Lakewood and Fairview and Rocky River and Elyria Catholic, all the streams, Bay High School, all the streams being brought to you in one place. It's on GLC Full Court Press. 4 games, 1 channel. It's GLC TV. It's tournament time, and that can only mean one thing. Everybody's got to bring their A game. GLC Tournament, win or go home, and that means it's the return of our Patrick Hayes hot dog review. We've given the Lakewood concession stand the whole season to improve on their rating. Do you remember the rating for the first dog?
What did I get? 7.2 maybe? Something in that range, I think it was.
We're going to see if we can get our cameraman, Colin Cunningham, to zoom in here on Patrick Hayes. So we get our second hot dog review of the season. The judge is weighing his score. I don't know if you had a beard like that. The first hot dog review certainly will make a difference.
I did not. I need to shave. But dog, a lot better. I'd give it a.
I noticed it was a little more charred.
Yes, a little charred. The bun's better. I think I was talking to the boosters, and they were saying they couldn't find the buns. Well, they found them. I'm going to go 7-7.
7-7 here on the second Hayes hot dog review of the season. A fan favorite. If you're watching at home, tweet us your reactions. Want to hear if you think he gave that dog an accurate score as the second half kicks off here at the corner of Bunts and Franklin. A big quarter for the Lakewood Rangers in the first quarter has led to a big first half. And in that quarter, it was Riley Ullins with 9 points. Aiden Wacker, big 8 points in his return. And Pete Patsaurus had 14 big points, leading the Rangers in the scoring category. It's second half action here on GLC TV. Elyria Catholic and Lakewood getting set to tip it back off.
Number 15, Alex Herondale.
I'm going to do this one solo as I'm going to finish up a hot dog here. My color commentator is incapacitated at the moment, so it's just going to be the Grant Graves show here on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Number 11, MJ Greer, and number 23, Ahmed Muhammad.
Lakewood will come out with a similar starting five. Grayer, Ullins, Patsaurus, Muhammad, and Neal. And for Elyria Catholic, it'll be Fisher, Karen Dang, Niederst, number 11, Joey Busey, and number 24, Miles Lisner, who had a nice end to that second quarter there, looking to build on that for the Panthers.
Yeah, you'd really like to see the Rangers come out with the same energy they started the game with, kind of get out to another big lead. That'd be nice.
Q getting out in transition. What a Euro step by Q. Jaquan Neal and Lakewood in the scoring column early.
Yeah, like the energy from Q, MJ kind of picking up. Even though Coach Kamak said we're in 5, he's got that energy. He wants to pick up full court. You love to see that.
Nice take there by Busey as Panthers will counter the Q Neal Euro step with a layup of their own. Nice step back by Ullins, hits the back iron, and Panthers will take it the other way. Lakewood doing a nice job in that first quarter, applying pressure to the Panthers. We'll see if they will go back to that full court pressure off made baskets. Step through by Niederst, lost the ball out of bounds, and Lakewood will regain possession.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Senny at the half, and he was talking about, sometimes it gets hard to keep that same intensity and up in the, in the game when you're only in the half court, defense. So, yeah, it's easier when you're up and playing full court, but when we pulled it back, then we kind of let them score some points.
What a shot there by Ullins. Put some nice English off the board and got it to go. Riley Ullins, a great take, and there's that pressure by Lakewood. Bounce pass by Neal. Up and under, no good for Ullins, and the Panthers will take it the other way. Two Rangers collided there as Muhammad was able to come up with the loose ball, and now the Rangers will get it in the hands of their leading scorer, Patsaurus.
Good patience there by Riley, not forcing the 3, even though he's a really good shooter, really holding back and waiting for a good one here.
Q Neal throws that one in. It's tipped in the passing lane, and Niederst will push it the other way. Stopped at the free throw line. Thought about it. Found Fisher. Fisher from way downtown, and that one bangs off the iron and no good. It's Karen Dang from the corner, and that one is good. Alex Carendang doing his best to get the Panthers back in this one. Certainly has done a nice job here in the second and third quarters.
You know what I've noticed, Grant? It's something with the younger Riley hitting another three there, is players seem to lack using the bounce pass. It's more of the chest pass, and we saw that with a turnover earlier from Q Neal.
Certainly, Rangers need to do a good job in those passing lanes, as that's been a source of ire for Coach Kamok. Layup missed on the other end by Lisner, and Lakewood will look to extend their lead. 42-21, they lead here in the third quarter. Another tip and deflection, but Uhlans tipped it right back. Up ahead, Fisher finds Niederst. Left-handed layup is good, and Lakewood and Elyria Catholic are trading baskets here in this second half.
Yeah, and that's not how you want to go about it if you're the Rangers. I know you have a comfortable lead, but you want to extend that lead and really put the pedal to the metal.
A spin and in for Patsoris as he has a whirling take to the hole, and he was fouled going up. So Patsoris will shoot one at the free throw line, looking to make it a three-point play. As some subs come in for the Panthers. Teddy Budinger, Colin Ginley getting in there for the green and gray, as Patsoris' free throw is up and out. Getting in for the Rangers is number 3, Aiden Wacker. Certainly, Wacker will be looked at here as Uhlans gets in the passing lane and steals that one away. Patsoris thought about it. Spins on Fisher. Steps through. Was looking for Grayer underneath, but it was taken away by the Panthers. A little fancy there for Patsoris.
Yeah, it was a good idea. Just that's a really hard pass to make.
Into the quarter is Carendang. Airballs that one. Bounced around. Uhlans was fouled, though, they're going to say, by number 15, Alex Carendang. And Lakewood will regain possession, leading by 22. Coach Lovett making sure these Rangers are on their toes here as episode 2 of Raising Wolves comes out. What did you think of the first episode by Primeletics, the media company that Coach Lovett is doing such great work with?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I was no Grant or Pat on it, so I think it needs some of that. But otherwise, it was well put together.
Certainly everyone is the star of their own show as Alex Carendang goes coast to coast after the steal. And it's Lakewood being a little sloppy with the ball as Coach Kamok letting out some frustration. Not the same Rangers we saw in the first few minutes of the first quarter, as Lakewood certainly not coming out of that locker room with the same intensity they did to start this one. No,
and it hurts, the mindset of the players when you're like, oh, I'm up 20. But you can't think like that. You got to think, hey, 0-0 going in the second half. Let's win this half now.
And that steal and score is our Harrington moving. Let's get moving. Fast break of the game. We'll do the heavy lifting so you can focus on what really matters, making your house a home. Call Danny today for a free quote at Harrington Moving.
I'll be honest, Graham. I'm going to have to talk to Danny. He might not appreciate that we did a fast break by the other team.
Well, listen, if I know one thing about Harrington Moving, they are impartial, and they certainly will get the job done, just like Alex Carendang on that one. 45-25 with under 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Panthers doing their best to get back into this one as Lakewood jumped out to a 28-0 first quarter lead. And another turnover after the timeout. Coach Kamok certainly looking puzzled on that one as Lakewood needs to do a better job of taking care of the ball here as they command a 20-point advantage. Nice take underneath by Jaquan Q. Neal.
Yeah, that was a really good pass and a really good finish by Q. One thing you stress when you're feeding the post is you got to see their numbers. And Q kind of threw that one without seeing his numbers, and he already moved, and then it was a steal going the other way.
47-25, the Rangers now lead, looking for another three-point play from a man in purple and gold. Free throws up and short, and Elyria will push it the other way. What are you seeing from the Panthers here that's really gotten their offense going since being shut out in the first quarter? 25 points, not a crazy amount, nothing to write home about, but certainly a much improved offensive effort for the Panthers.
Well, first thing is they're capitalizing on the Rangers' miscues by turning those into points.
Sure.
And they're starting to hit some shots. I mean, you're not going to go 0 for all night. When you get good looks, some shots are going to fall.
As Denny Fisher's three-pointer no good, tipped out of bounds and back to the Rangers. And certainly, if you're Lakewood, it's twofold, right? You can't press off a turnover.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get your defense set up when you have to get back in transition because maybe you've made a sloppy pass or play wasn't run to specifications. So it's certainly Lakewood shares in that ability to, spark up the Elyria Catholic offense, and they certainly have to do a good job of tamping down their expectations in this one. Whacker from way downtown. That one hits off the rim and goes sideways as the Panthers will regain possession. 2 minutes, 31 seconds remaining, and Lakewood is leading by 22.
And that goes down as a missed shot, but honestly, it's a turnover. I mean, it's that's
nobody had to move to regain possession.
No, I mean it was a forced three. I know he's been shooting the lights out, but it was a little deep and not in the flow of the offense.
And a big block there by Q. Jaquan Neal. His name was being screamed from the sideline, but before they could bark at him for whatever transgression he might have made, he came across the midline there and sent that one away.
Yeah, it was served up on a platter for him.
And Lakewood just taking a little more pride man-to-man defensively will go a long way. You can't always force stops off the press. It's an exhausting way to play defense. It's their man-to-man on-ball defense that Coach Kamach is imploring the Rangers to get control of. As that ball was tipped out after Q Neal missed that off the front iron, and Lakewood will regain possession.
Yeah, and that's the Rangers' bread and butter is their half court. And Aiden Whacker shuts me up with another three ball.
Aiden Whacker getting everything he wants from that right corner. That is Aiden Wackerland as he's able to pour in another three-pointer. Another deep pull by Boosie, and that one is good. Lakewood and Elyria Catholic trading some deep three-pointers here in the third quarter. Nice back cut there by Pat Soros, and his layup pushes Lakewood to a 52-28 advantage.
Yeah, like I was saying, the Rangers, pride themselves on their half-court man-to-man. They haven't pressed very much this year, so that's where they need to make their living.
Boosie thought about it, and he might have been better off pulling that one as a travel. Will give the ball back to the Rangers. Checking out is Fisher and Boosie, some of their only rests of the game as Panthers very short-staffed in this one, doing a fantastic job staying in this game and giving it their all. And that's the nice thing about having a conference tournament. These games are high stakes. Every team wants to win this inaugural GLC tournament. It will do wonders for their season in review when we get to that point. But it's not, this is not fatal nor final. No. It's just a minor setback if you don't have the outlook or the showing that you have in the GLC tournament. We still got the OHSAA tournament coming out. This is why this is such a great event and really has risen the stakes and given all these teams something to really sink their teeth into, as Jarris's three no good, and the Panthers will push it the other way. 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it kind of gives them a little bit of taste before the big thing, It's kind of like, it is like college. You get your conference tournament, which is a big week in college basketball, and then if you're lucky enough to make it to the big dance, you get that the next week.
Nice pull there in the corner as that one was halfway down for Nevelinsky. But a foul on the Panthers will give the ball back to the Rangers. 13.7 seconds remaining in this one.
And like you stated earlier, pretty clean game. This game is cruising along here for the Rangers and the Panthers.
As the Rangers in command here with 13 seconds remaining. 52-28. Eulens between the legs. Finds Grayer on the wing. Back to Eulens, who will pull it from deep as the clock winded down. Eulens puts it up again. That one off the front of the rim like his first attempt. And it will stay Lakewood 52, Elyria Catholic 28. And I will change the quarter this time to the fourth quarter, as that was the entire third quarter for anybody just joining us. And it will now be fourth quarter time for the Panthers and the Rangers.
Yeah, let's see if the Rangers can put some good pressure out there for the Rangers. Maybe get a comfortable lead and then get some guys in maybe with halfway through the fourth quarter.
Certainly a different atmosphere here, a 6 o'clock start time for the Rangers and the Panthers. No JV game, unfortunately, for both squads, but it's been a fun atmosphere and a good kickoff to the GLC tournament.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, people watching on GLC can kind of see everything that's going on with every other game, which is a really cool aspect of it. And we got a good one here for the Rangers, and it'd be great to see all what's going on with the other teams as well.
Yes, we want to give a big shout out to all of our supporters in the Lakewood Athletic Booster community and the Lakewood community and all over anyone who has supported the Lakewood Sports Channel. A big thank you from all of us here at Lakewood High School, as we can't be more happy with how this inaugural season on the Lakewood Sports Channel has flushed out, as we are back here at the fourth quarter at Lakewood High School. 52-28. 8 minutes left of basketball here in the first round of the GLC tournament. Winner of this game to face Bay Village on Friday night. Elyria Catholic, a few chances underneath, nothing going in, but a foul will be assessed, and Elyria Catholic will have it out of bounds.
Yeah, can't give up offensive rebounds. You really, especially with your main guy in there, Pete and MJ, those are your big-time rebounders. Got to rebound the basketball.
Lakewood looking for their first matchup of the year with Bay, should they progress to the first round, the first matchup of the year and second round action here in the tournament. That game will be on the Lakewood Sports Channel and on GLC TV Friday night. It's a nice, tough layup there by EC. We'll pull this one to 52-30. Nice threading of the needle there by Ullens, and he found MJ Grayer underneath. What a pass by the junior guard.
Yeah, and Bay plays a pretty quick style too. They put up a decent amount of points as well. So Rangers got to be ready for that. It didn't go well on Saturday with a team that kind of scored a lot. So got to buckle down defensively to finish this game and carry it over to the next one.
Bay Village, the number 1 seed in the GLC. They are top 20 in the area, and certainly a nice draw for them in the OHSAA tournament this past weekend. It will be very interesting matchup between the Rangers and the Rockets, the first of the year, like we said. Layup there, no good. Boosie pulls it from deep, no good. And it will be Lakewood pushing it the other way. Ullens had it slapped out by Boosie. Nice job to get back in transition by the senior guard.
Yeah, you love to see that effort. I mean, there's a couple of transition buckets where the Rangers aren't doing that, and I like to see it from the EC Panthers.
Lakewood looking for Patsaurus on that left block.
Yeah, we've seen Pete do it a little bit different tonight. He's scored from the inside, scored from the outside, done it both ways.
Three-pointer short there. Patsaurus got beat back, and the layup was no good by Lisner, and Lakewood will have another shot at it, leading by 24.
And not a great turnover there for the Rangers, but good job on Pete getting back there and affecting the shot, not necessarily blocking it, not necessarily, fouling the guy, but just making his presence known, and the guy missed it, and we were able to get the rebound and go the other way.
54-30, the Rangers lead the Panthers, and Lakewood certainly looking for a advancement to the next round here in the GLC tournament.
Aiden Wacker looking to get another one off, but decides to move the ball instead.
Lakewood doing a nice job in transition. Press defense has a nice block by Navalinsky there. Will set the Rangers on the baseline.
This might, too, be the first time this season that we had Mark and Aiden on the floor, both sharpshooters.
Sure.
Usually Mark was taking some of Aiden's minutes kind of as a sharpshooter in the corner, and now they both can spread the floor.
Certainly Lakewood looking for the right combination to take on Bay on Friday night.
And you hope to get, Hakeem back, not sure, how he's doing, but that'd be definitely a goal.
Lakewood looking to get that full strength for the first time all year as Grayer pulls that one, clanks off, and goes out of bounds.
I was just thinking that'd be the first time all year that they'd be at full strength.
Last touch by the Rangers, it'll be Elyria Catholic.
As you look at, both squads here, and Lakewood certainly in the driver's seat with just 5 minutes remaining in this one, and you look at Bay Village, and they're certainly led by senior guard Ashton Price. He is the engine for that rocket. He is the rocket fuel. And what have you seen from Price this year, and what it's likely going to have to do to counteract his really fantastic scoring ability over there?
Yeah, he can do it all. So he can really shoot it, though. So you got to run him off the line. You got to help off, or you can't help off him to other people. You just kind of got to stay on him and try to make somebody else beat you, because they do have a lot of other role players that can really score it, but he's that guy that he's going to go up there and get 20, 25, 30 points.
It'll certainly be a really good matchup, as two of the area's leading scorers in Pat Soros and Price will be facing off for the first time this year. A few subs for the Rangers come in.
Yeah, that matchup will be great.
Bay Village, the leading vote getter for first place votes in the GLC tournament, as Ulin's three-pointer off the back iron, and Elyria Catholic will take it the other way.
And rightfully so. That throughout all this craziness, that they've probably been the most consistent team in the conference.
And consistency is something that Lakewood has been striving for, as that ball goes off Miles Harper hand and goes out of bounds. Harper getting back into this one after missing some time. And if you had to give a team that, it may not be Bay Village #1 seed or even #2 seed Buckeye, what's a team that you're looking for as this tournament kicks off that maybe could make some noise from a lower seeded position?
It's not too low, but the 4 seed in Normandy, I think, could be a really tough matchup. They lost a couple games without their best player. Getting him
some
back. Some
guards were out against teams like Rocky River, where they lost on a buzzer beater.
Correct, yeah. So getting them back and healthy, which is the name of the game for every team, but I think they could be a team to be reckoned with going forward.
Big block there by Pat Soros, and it'll spring Ulin's out the other way. What a rejection by the senior #1, Pete Pat Soros. As Fisher and Bucci play Bucci ball with that one. Going back and forth. And a layup by Bucci will give the Panthers a 32-54 now disadvantage.
You would have liked to see a little bit stronger fourth quarter start for the Rangers, but you know what? A 20-point lead is still tough to come by. Who is your team that you think, Grant, in the GLC tournament that could make some noise that might not be a top-seeded team?
Well, a team that I've been impressed with that has won some hard-fought games and has the ability, that has beaten Bay, the #1 seed, and Bay certainly fantastic season, but it's got to be, for me, the Fairview Warriors. Really good at shooting the 3 ball, can get hot, and they really are well coached by Ryan Berry over there. James Rance and also Steve Argento. They do a nice job putting a game plan together. This team was in a lot of battles last year. Younger squad coming in this year, but they put up over 23s against Bay the last time they played. So if you're saying, hey, what's a team that can take on its best identity and beat anybody, I got to say it's those guys over there in Fairview. And certainly they have had some big wins this year, and the young team figuring it out, I think they'll be a very exciting team. You got to catch them on GLC TV.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you there, Grant. Any team that shoots it that much from the 3 ball, they're either going to win. They're either going to come out and win, or they're going to shoot you into a game, or they can also shoot you out of it. So they can definitely be a team to be reckoned with. They've had some good wins, like you said, and some tough losses, but they're a team to be reckoned with.
Nice shot there by Thomas Niederst on the 3.
And that's the beautiful thing about this tournament. I mean, almost anyone I could see winning it. I mean, every team's pretty even. I said Bay's most, the #1 seed clearly, but still a beatable team. As you said, Fairview beat them, and, it's going to be fun to see how it plays out.
We should note we are a fact-checking broadcast that Ashton Price left that game with an ankle injury, but it'll certainly be interesting to see how these teams are playing as tournament time is here on the Lakewood Sports Channel and around the GLC. Nice rebounding there, as Hollenberg looked like he could go straight up with it, but Lakewood just doing a little bit of stall right now. And a timeout will be taken by head coach Alex Kamock. Get some guys in. We got Mo Cutcut getting in for the Rangers. And number 21, DJ
Jones.
DJ Jones will be in as well.
Yeah, it's good to get those guys in. It's nice that Coach Kamock uses a timeout. Sometimes they'll do a running clock and running timeout and say, hey, just use the timeout to get the guys in. But still wants to talk to the guys, say, hey, let's buckle down and defend for the next 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
And with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in our first round matchup, we can confidently say that it will be Lakewood taking on Bay Village Friday night at Bay Village High School. That'll be a very big matchup for the men in purple and gold.
It's like when you're watching the tournament and, they show the graphic on TV and they finally move that
Sharpie,
over. Yep.
as Seth Davis would say.
Grant, who's your favorite for the NCAA tournament right now?
I've seen a lot of NCAA basketball this year. I love NCAA basketball. The Hoosiers are my team. They had a big win over Iowa the other night. And certainly it doesn't bode well for Iowa's chances, but oh boy, everything's going to go through Gonzaga, in my opinion. They are very good this year. I think Wisconsin is a quality squad as well. And Villanova coming on, not as many household names as they maybe had on their championship team a year ago, but they are certainly a team that can grind with you and take it down. But man, if you had to pin me to one team, I'm going to hang my hat on a team that can really do it on both ends, and that is the Baylor Bears. I think the Baylor Bears have been very good and certainly can go a long way. And if you're asking for a Cinderella team, Tennessee.
Oh, I like it. They're, like you said, it starts at the top there with Gonzaga and Baylor. I mean, you can almost pencil those two teams into the Final Four, and then who knows with the next couple,
Certainly love March Madness, and we're glad that it is back after missing out on it last year. 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining in this one. Lakewood leading 56-35. Harper, cut. Jarris, Jones, and Hollenberg in the game as Cut's three-pointer too long. Harper put it up, and no foul was called. But Lakewood will regain possession with just a minute remaining.
And that's the effort you love to see. The guys that don't get very many minutes still rebounding the basketball on both ends of the floor.
And with just an hour and 37 remaining on our Twitter poll, it's wind sprint 65%, shell drill 8%, around the world 10%, and three-man weave 17%. So tune in next game at halftime to see our recorded version of, unless this voting changes, as the nice three-pointer there again by Nieders goes in, 56-38, to see Coach Hayes do his best Usain Bolt impression. We might have Clayton Senni out there.
Me running just seems boring. Don't you want to see me do a shell drill or something, man?
Well, maybe we'll see it all.
Health risks, I'm not, I got to, who knows?
Well, 2 hot dogs in one half of basketball certainly don't bode well for your chances on that one, as Miles Harper was fouled. Just 20 seconds remaining here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. 56-38, the Rangers lead, as a few more Rangers will check in.
Noah and Cut. We got 2 cuts on the court right now, which is pretty cool.
I'm going to quiz you. What's the basketball game where you take shots all around the arc and you go back and you try to make every one of them? What's that one called? Start in the corner and you go around, you come back the other way.
Around the world?
Bingo.
Okay.
Bingo.
I might have to make a couple burner accounts and try to skew these numbers on the polls, and maybe I can do around the world.
Cut. No
running.
No ISO. Good to see them in there for the Rangers, as 8.8 seconds, and it doesn't matter who's on the court for the Rangers. Coach Kamach has standards, both hands on the back of his head on that one. Certainly want to see those JV guys playing to their fullest potential. Listener's shot will be off. Karen Dang will get it to go at the buzzer, and that will give us our final score of Lakewood 56, Elyria Catholic 40, and we are so glad you joined us tonight on the Lakewood Sports Channel. It's Lakewood advancing to take on the 1 seed, Bay Village, on Friday night out there at Bay Village High School. It'll be a great one. We'll have all the action for you here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Give us a little preview of what you think that game's going to be like.
Pete Patzoris versus Price. I mean, Ashton Price. Those two, whoever has the better game could have the win in their back pocket after the night's over.
If you're ready for this alliteration, it will be a Friday, February frenzy on the Lakewood Sports Channel and GLC TV, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Lakewood in a rout tonight, 56-40. Our main guy, Coach Higginbotham, giving us a big nod on that one. He loves the Lakewood Sports Channel, and he loves when the Rangers get a W, and we know you do at home. For Patrick Hayes, for Grant Graves, don't forget Raising Wolves premiere on Thursday. We can't wait for episode 2 with Coach Demetrius Lovett and Prime Lennox. Have a great night, and go Rangers.